The reason why you were born when you were born and you weren't born 50 years before you were born is because you would have been irrelevant 50 years before you were born. And the reason why you're not unborn now, waiting to be born in the future, is that you would be irrelevant in the future. But you're born right now because your life means something. You're relevant to the world that you live in, and God created you to be great on the earth. So God says, before I formed you, look at the possessive nature of God. God is saying, my hand has been on you before anyone ever touched you. Before I formed you in your mother's womb, God says, I knew you. Now look at the language that God uses. He doesn't say, I knew a little bit about you, I know you, I kind of know a little bit. No, he says, I knew you. This is past tense. So this communicates to God, when He saw you in completion. That's why when our God engages us, and sometimes He engages us and He asks us to do crazy things, outrageous, outlandish things. But you got to remember, God sees the entirety of you. He says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. In other words, I know you from A to Z. You're still at B. See, that's what happens when we get perplexed, when God calls us to do great things, or He calls us great things, and He calls us great things by calling us to do great things. Wish somebody would catch that. In other words, our identity is in what God tells us that we can do. And so God has put great dreams in the hearts of some people in here right now. Huge dreams that don't make sense. People want to slap you when you talk about it. When you dream and you believe of something that has never been done before, and we have to suffer the ridicule and the, people are like, yeah, I'll be praying about that. All these sort of things, in order to be great in God, you're going to have to suffer the fact that people can't see what God has placed on the inside of you. If God said, not then but now, not later but now, in His omniscience, that means that your now has to be incredible. That's why He said now.